Hey guys, my name is Tyler, and as always, welcome to my YouTube channel. If you like this video, please make sure to like and subscribe below. Any and all of that helps me continue to create content, which hopefully you guys love, and it just gives me kind of sort of an idea of what you guys want to see. I'm still filling things out, early videos here at the YouTube channel, and I know a lot of it is essentially on collectibles. A lot of it is Funko Pops or Pokemon or things like that. And, I mentioned Pokemon because that's kind of the direction that we're going into again today. But I kind of want to start off with the question of the day. Please let me know in the comments your answer. But what is your favorite Pokemon collectible that you have? It could be a toy, it could be a game, it could be a card, or anything like that. It could be at actually any point, not one that you currently have. I know a lot of things come from nostalgia, and you lose things or certain points. There are different things you have, whether it be maybe even a Pokemon Game Boy that you had back in the day. But once again, whatever Pokemon collectible you had as a kid that you really liked, or you still have even now, what was your favorite? Please make sure to let me know in the comments below. But today's collectible was one that actually came out recently. It's one of my favorites, and I have a great story behind it. It was kind of a mystery, but without further ado, I'll go ahead and show you guys what it is. It is the Pikachu Funko Pop, the Target exclusive Pikachu Funko Pop. This one, when it came out, was a bit of a cluster, and I'll go ahead and get to the story there. So I remember it actually launched on July 30th of 2018. It was actually my birthday. That was the day I was born, July 30th. But I believe it was about a week beforehand. The news started surfacing around on the internet, and a lot of people thought it was fake because Funko had been trying to get Nintendo licensing and hadn't been able to. But this silhouette of this had started functioning and floating around the internet, and there's a lot of questions as to whether or not it was real. And the first day or so, everybody thought it was fake because, again, Nintendo wasn't very keen on giving out its licensing or anything like that. But soon enough, I think about a day or two later, it was confirmed, and all of a sudden there was a release date on it. It was a Target exclusive, which is really strange because typically whenever we hear about Funko Pops, we get a little bit longer of a head start on that. And so come to find out, July 30th was the launch date. Now for me personally, it was always going to be a hard one to get. It didn't launch online that night when it typically does. I believe it was actually delayed. And from where I live, the closest Target is about an hour away, and there's no guarantee that they would even get it. It just so happened though that I was at my mother-in-law's house, staying there for the week or so. I believe we had traveled down for vacation to set up some last-minute wedding things because my wife and I were actually getting married a month later. But we happened to be down there, and I thought to myself, there's lots of Targets in that area. It's in North Carolina, in the Raleigh area. But I thought, well, why not give it a try? So I went out there at about 7 a.m. My wife accompanied me out there, and we decided we were going to wait in line because we thought it'd be a huge release. First off, Pokemon is the most profitable IP. It's the biggest selling IP. It's bigger than Star Wars. It's bigger than Harry Potter. Pokemon it's huge, and so for it to come out and a Funko Pop, especially a character as iconic as Pikachu, it was kind of a no-brainer. And when I got there, there were actually two people there, so we were in good shape. And as soon as we went in there, we went to the back, and we asked about the pop, and there was an employee there, and they went looking for it, and they were back there for about 20 minutes or so, and I started sweating it out. And I'm big on Twitter. I was starting to follow on Twitter, and I was seeing that Target was actually doing a stock change, I think is what they call it, or a floor change or so, where a lot of the stores throughout the nation were kind of separating their collectibles and toys specifically. So a lot of things that were coming in on pallets were actually getting lost. So there were a lot of places that actually couldn't locate their pops. So this one, I was starting to sweat it out. I was like, well, I hope it didn't get lost or anything back there. But he was back there for 20 minutes or so. I think he came out after about 10 minutes, and it was like we were still looking. And finally, they found the box with 6 of them, and it was a huge relief. I knew this was one that I really wanted, and to this day, it's still one of my favorites. It doesn't quite have the value. I believe at that point, that day, my wife actually got one, and we kind of checked and see what the prices were on them. People were reselling them and buying them for $40 to $50, which for a pop like that, it's kind of that's actually pretty pricey. There are some that still kind of get into that range pretty often, but for that was kind of unique, and that especially for a pop that's $9-10 is what Target sells theirs for. That was pretty uncharted water there. So I was extremely glad that we were actually in position to go ahead and grab that, and it was a very enjoyable experience. You come out, and I actually went to another Target to kind of see to double dip a little bit to see if they actually had any more, and it was about 5 minutes up the road. They didn't have one. They just referred back to the other store in the stock that they had. So we decided to go ahead and just kind of leave those ones for anybody else that would come through and want one. Because again, if other people were willing to get up at 7 a.m. and be there on I believe that day was a Sunday, that kind of shows you don't want to hoard everything for yourself at that point. But that's kind of my unique story with how I came across the Pikachu Funko Pop, and it's one of my favorite. I have all the starters. I have Squirtle, I have Charmander, I have Bulbasaur, and I even have some of the 10-inch pops, which I'll go over those in a later video and kind of show you the details of them. But I just thought this one was unique. It's one of my favorites, and to me, it's a cool little story. That's what I really like about some of the collectibles I've come across, are the stories that accompany them, and even some of the background and the lead up to this one, just how it kind of came out of the blue. Again, it was Pikachu. Everybody loves Pikachu. Even if you don't love Pikachu, it was Pokemon. It's iconic. It kind of combines the best of both worlds in a sense there. But that's all I've got for you guys today. Again, if you enjoyed the video, please make sure to like and subscribe below, and comment what is your favorite Pokemon collectible that you have ever at any point owned. It could be one of those old Pokédexes. It can be a card. It can even be a figurine. Just whatever it is, make sure to go ahead and comment below. And again, please like, rate, and subscribe. It helps me out a lot. Till next time.